Why did your beloved sweetheart, your cherished soulmate, your deeply desired and truly ideal partner ultimately choose a completely different path, decide to choose another individual, proceed in an entirely different direction, or take a distinctly different turn in their life's journey? Why did they make such a profoundly different decision? Why did he go down another path? And that's what we're going to look at now. So the path, the distance from you, and let's see what the trigger is, what's going on inside him in this area. Dear ones, very, very warm hello to you all. A big loving hug to you. And I thank you so much for your loyalty here on my channel. And to everyone who is new here, a very warm and big thank you. And feel yourself tightly embraced. And now let's take a look at what the energies want to show us, what they want to give us in this area, on this topic, this question. And as you know, we are working with the collective. The person cards are gender neutral, and a collective reading cannot apply to everyone. That's very important. But you always pick out or take what resonates with you. And thank you so, so much for your wonderfully kind comments again. So beautiful. And you know, my dearest friends, you are always, always welcome to suggest interesting and engaging topics for a collective reading session. And of course, I am always truly and genuinely happy to include them in our discussions and future readings. And a very heartfelt and sincere thank you to all the wonderful new channel members who have recently joined, and also to those loyal supporters who have thoughtfully chosen to renew their valuable channel membership. I am very happy about it. And to everyone out there, a warm and heartfelt thank you. You are wonderful. So now I'm sending you lots and lots of positive energy and so many happy feelings. And now let's take a look at your special someone, what's really going on and why, as I said, they've chosen a different path. Let's see what the background is there. It could also be that he told you something, but you don't even know if what he or she said is actually true. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. 9 of Cups. So we have a topic here. There's this, yes, a sense of frustration. Here I see material matters coming up for your loved one. And there is, yes, let's say, since we're talking about relationships here, we're in the area of relationships, your connection with them. It's like this. 9 cups are filled, but that one, the 10th cup, was missing. So there was still something was still stuck in all of this. And because normally that's what is actually being shown here. Normally you were the fulfillment for him, right? And there was, but something, dissatisfaction, there was something he just couldn't fully accept here. Something was there. There is, because frustration is being shown again. And now let's take a closer look at what exactly is going on here, because this whole thing is a bit curious, isn't it? So then we have the Chariot. With the Chariot, it's also clear, it shows speed here. Maybe it was all too fast for him. You know, we'll definitely get clarity here about what exactly happened. And it's like this. It's as if he somehow lost control. But there's something here that unsettled him. And yeah, maybe he also lacked the courage. But right now he's kind of stuck in a sort of in-between world. At least that's what I see. So what I can already say for sure is he's not satisfied with his situation, you know, the way he's stuck in it right now. Because true satisfaction, actually the fulfillment of the bigger picture, is with you. Yes, that's how it was. And then what is also shown here by the Chariot is this, yes, this devotion. There is a love. Love has truly developed here. Love is really the main theme here. And now let's take a look at exactly what it is that made him feel insecure here. So there is definitely something, I'm thinking something just went too fast for him here. There was something he couldn't quite handle. Now, we also have the Four of Pentacles. With the Four of Pentacles, yes, it's like, for him, it was also about self-protection. I see a withdrawal here, you know, and something made him feel insecure. But I always say, maybe it's his own sense of security. Something just didn't quite fit here, as if maybe he also lost control, but control over what? Let's take a look at that now. There's also a sense of mistrust. He didn't trust the whole thing. There's something overly cautious here. So I'd say he was extremely, extremely cautious. Maybe he didn't want to take any risks either because everything here feels exaggerated, you know? Excessive worrying and this overcautiousness. And yeah, something stuck in the gears, you know? But somehow he's just stuck here right now, the poor guy or girl, depending. Let's take a look at that. No, there are way too many now for us to take them all with us. All right, so let's take a much closer look and carefully observe what exactly is truly going on there. We need to understand what precisely and specifically blocked him in that particular situation, okay? Let's consider the circumstances and analyze the situation more deeply. Okay. Okay. Why did he choose a different situation? Phew. Well, let me put it this way. The coyote is definitely dealing with some pretty intense and heavy issues that are blocking him here. We definitely have, well, what does it mean? What's blocking him here? Here we have the issue of why he chose a different path. And what I can say for sure is that we clearly see insecurity here. But he is, what we said at the beginning, what I also mentioned. He is completely dissatisfied with his current situation. So that's absolutely certain, right? There's no question about it because the situation he's in right now is completely wrong, withdrawn, and he absolutely can't cope with it. We clearly have influence here, influence from outside, influence from other people or another person, the different path he has taken. And we have some major issues from his past here. But now we still need a bit more here for clarification so we can get something else in. Get something in also sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? At least I think so. No, really, it sounds totally silly. So now we have a very clear picture with this person close to your heart, that he has decided against you or taken a different path, and that has to do with his own issues. Here we see speed. For him, it's like this, pressure. Pressure, maybe from your side, because you showed him a lot of love, a lot of warmth, and that's what he really felt strongly. You know, we always tap into the most present energy, right? And I think we already had that yesterday or the day before as well. Here, there are very deep feelings. You gave him a lot of love. With you, I sense this clarity, this authenticity, this sense of security, this stability. You also wanted stability. And it's like this. Maybe things moved too fast for him. Maybe he felt overwhelmed by everything because he couldn't handle your love, so much love. And then we also have the significant issue that he truly can't really be at peace with himself in this particular area, these persistent fears of being able to fully give you all of that and more. The fear, again and again, of being able to open up what is closed off inside him to you because he was never completely open with you. He always kept his true self, his real feelings, locked away and never fully showed them. And here we very clearly see an issue from his past. An issue from his past. He has always been closed off because his heart has been hurt again and again. So we're really going far back into his past here. And there was always this, others had control over him and he kept closing himself off again and again. But he was also abandoned very often. That's something he might not be completely honest about or show outwardly, because I always sense that he presents something different to the outside world, like he's worn or still wears a kind of mask. I'd like to leave it at worn for now, because this mask is also what makes him feel like he can't make you happy. He feels like he maybe can't give you everything. He was completely overwhelmed by all the love he felt from you, but also by the love he felt himself, this love, this deep, profound touch to the heart. That's what he couldn't handle. And that's why he ran away. Completely, bam, gone. Withdrawal, running away. And he saw a lot of problems, but they weren't problems that couldn't have been solved here. They were self-made problems, because he always clings to his own behavior, to the experiences he himself has had. You yourself have also had relationships, have also had painful experiences, disappointments from your past. But you say, hey, I've met someone here now, and this person has shown me something completely different. Everything was completely different. This getting to know each other, this such a completely different feeling, even you yourself had never experienced before. And what you felt during this getting to know each other in that first contact, the interaction 7, maybe when you were just texting before you had even seen each other, there was something much more familiar. something intimate, something deep, something lasting. There was this sense of security right from the start. You were so calm. Of course, you still get those nerves when you're getting to know someone and during the first few meetings and so on, but it just felt so good. And that's exactly what you felt. That's what your soulmate felt too. You were able to handle it. You can deal with it. You say, okay, you can put it in perspective for yourself. It's new, it's beautiful, it's something really deep. And yes, my heart is telling me the right thing. With the soulmate, I see that they, right from the second meeting, have this mistrust, this trust because they don't even trust themselves. The trust in real love, and above all, the trust to truly be loved honestly, genuinely, and deeply. That's what it is. That was the crucial point of it all. It went on for quite a while between the two of you, and then time and again, obstacles kept coming in from the outside, and his issues from the past kept resurfacing. You must have felt those too. I also sensed his jealousy very intensely. You must have noticed that as well. You tell yourself, hey, you can trust me. I only want you. I don't want anything from anyone else. But unfortunately, your beloved basically threw you into a sack along with the lizards, And with his experiences, things he went through, what he picked up from his family. Like, no, there was always someone else. I was always left, always in the background, and meeting up with someone else somehow. I don't know. That was always the issue. And there you say to yourself, hey, why? I only want you. Believe me, trust me. But for him, it was completely a matter of lacking trust because he always told himself, no, this keeps happening over and over again. It repeats itself again and again. But this deep connection, this deep love, he had never felt anything like that before. And neither had you. You had never felt anything like this either, not this intensely. And this connection, I still see it between the two of you right now. It's a bond that hasn't been broken. And as far as I can see, it won't be broken because the connection is so intense. And the other path, whether it's another woman, another man, issues from his past, or just running away, even if there's another person involved here, that's what I always like to call a flash in the pan. This woman has completely latched onto him at his most vulnerable spot, at his point of attack, really at the thinnest, most sensitive place he has right now, and has presented herself here perfectly and convincingly. And it was simply like a distraction. It's purely a distraction, but there's nothing real about it. I don't see any love here. It's all just staged, acted, fake. I definitely see love here for you. It's there. It sits safe. The love is secure. And that's the reason why your loved one has chosen a different path. But the other path he has taken is actually making him completely miserable because just like you, he feels this connection between the two of you. There is something there, and you are still deeply rooted in his heart. There's no getting around that. That's just how it is. And there's this trust, because he's slowly but surely starting to open up to trust, to love, but he doesn't know if you even want it anymore. But he feels this connection, and honestly, the way I see him here, it's tearing him apart. Yeah, I actually see him completely caught up in sorrow, in heartbreak. No matter what you see on the outside, whatever is currently showing up for him, whether there's someone else, whether things have taken a different turn again, or whether he's out in public, meeting with others, hanging out with friends, and so on. That's what you might be picking up on now, but you're not seeing what's inside him. And inside he's saying, hey, I love this woman completely, and I feel absolutely terrible. He's a good entertainer. He knows exactly how to present himself well, to put on a good front, like, hey, I'm being seen in a positive light. Everything seems fine, right? It's all about keeping up appearances. That's something I can see here very clearly. And what you might be picking up on, that he's saying, hey, I'm happy, and so on. No, because if you look into his eyes, you'll see there's a lot of sadness, a lot of worry, a lot of disappointment, a lot of pain. I see doubt and despair here. And you'll also notice that if you see him now physically at the moment, he's really not doing well at all. And whatever words you might hear now, like, hey, I'm fine, great, awesome, 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 that's a complete lie. I can see that here. Completely. But that's just because he wants to keep up appearances. But you are in his heart. And even though that wasn't the question now, I always say everything the cards show, whether it's here in the collective or in personal readings, I say everything the cards reveal in relation to a question. And it's also shown here that your loved one is really disappointed in themselves for what they've done because they know they took the wrong path. And I see your loved one here taking action to get back in touch with you. So that's being shown to me very clearly. I see communication between the two of you coming up again. Communication is definitely indicated, and it will happen very suddenly because out of this disappointment, out of these worries, with all the heartache, he has real heartbreak. As is shown here, I see that all of a sudden he will get back in touch with you. So the message is coming your way. Definitely, right? So if we look at it directly from the card reading, because I also see change there, he's coming out of the stagnation, out of the silence, and he's going to gather all his courage. Because for him, it takes courage to approach you directly again. But he will come to you because his heart has made the decision. It's a decision from the heart. And I'd say you're not going to get a declaration of love from him right away. But I do see communication coming with change. I see transformation here, a change in communication, that there will be warmer, more heartfelt communication, maybe even supportive, like if something comes up, So he'll come up with something, but I definitely see that here. Now let's take another look at what else is being shown. So we have the 10 of Wands. Please excuse me. With the 10 of Wands, it honestly shows here as well. Your loved one is carrying a heavy burden. That's the decision he made. It's a big burden for him. And he's like, this responsibility, we see it again, right? This feeling of, oh God, I can't give her everything. I can't, he's always seen himself as very small and you as much greater, right? You're stable, you handle everything here, you get it all under control. And especially when it comes to love, because he sees you as someone truly special, very warm and kind. And now this realization as well, hey, wait a minute, I can absolutely trust this person. And as I said, he follows, I sense this very intense heart connection here, that he's also following the path of the heart. And right now, this is truly an enormous burden, but he will let go here, let go of these old behavioral patterns, close the chapter on the past, and move into change. Change also means fully returning to communication with you. And communication also on a soul level. You've probably been feeling this all along, right? That there is communication with him or her. As I said, letting go here. He will let go of all of this and move into a carefree, relaxed phase because right now he feels very left alone in general. This decision, as I mentioned, that he made makes him feel very much left alone. And even if he's still circling around a bit right now and it all seems hopeless, he will definitely reach completion here, free himself from this burden and say, hey, I'm moving into a relaxed phase. I'm becoming active here. And this activity is also shown again with the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Wands, it's shown to you again with the 7 of Wands. And with the 7 of Wands, it also shows that his jealousy is still there. Jealousy that maybe he's lost you to someone else. And he completely lets down his guard and comes back, frees himself from his inner conflict, and will successfully assert himself. Get back into action, and above all, regain trust in himself, trust in love, and also try once again to reach out to you. That's for sure. My dears, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.